Okay, so this is a very interesting find. About a mile or two from Noah's Ark, there are the ancient ruins of what they know to be Noah's ancient home. And the reason they know this is because there's a marker outside of these ruins. It's a giant stone with an inscription of a rainbow. Underneath the rainbow is a ship with animals coming off of it, and then there are 8 carved crosses representing 8 people that came off of the ark. And this was taken from a site that was a dug-up grave at those ancient ruins of Noah's home.
Now, this is some Ron Wyatt level bullshittery that is going on. And this is one of the reasons why Christians continue to invalidate themselves by trying to say that the Bible is authentic history by pointing to almost any and everything that they possibly can to justify their biblical story. So the archaeology in question here is the fact that outside of the city of Ur, they found the skeletal remains of a man whose age was about 50 years old, but he dates back to about 6,500 years ago, which would put it around 4,500 years ago during the time frame that the Noah flood supposedly had happened. Now, if you look at where the city of Ur is, the city of Ur is near the Red Sea, and in the the Persian Gulf. It's near the Persian Gulf, which the city of Ur, and being near the Persian Gulf, has experienced many localized floods. And because these remains demonstrate that the man may have lived through a localized flood or epic flood, they nicknamed the skeletal remains as Noah. They haven't found anything to identify who these remains belong to, but as Noah. But the man was about 50 years old. Noah was already like 80 to 100 when the flood supposedly happened, and then still lived a very long time thereafter. So it doesn't work. The math ain't mathing. The other part of the math that's not mathing is that Noah's Ark supposedly settled in the mountain range of Ararat, which is on the opposite side of Saudi Arabia on the Red Sea. And that's a long ass way away from where Noah's Ark supposedly landed, to which that Ron Wyatt level bullshit is all these naturally forming mountain range, naturally forming rock formations that look similar to a boat. But of course, they found many of those, so therefore we know that it is a repeatable occurring natural event for these rocks to come into that formation. And every time they go and research it, it never comes out to be Noah's Ark, but wishful thinking and cognitive dissonance forces people to think and believe that these things are true. And the organization of Ron Wyatt continue to spread all this misinformation that leads Christian into a realm where they look foolish. Completely foolish. Now, he speaks of a stone that is supposed to be outside for Noah's house. Where the only thing I can find out there, because he doesn't show it in his video, the only thing I can find out there are different stones that is claimed to be the anchor of the ark, and other stones that are just stones. And these crosses that are on them, because I didn't see one with just 8, and then there was not one with a rainbow or the ark or animals coming out of it. All these stones have crusade Christian crosses on them, which more than likely would indicate that the Crusaders, and during that whole time frame of the Crusades, they were trying to identify and find places and created places to say, this is where, the burial of Jesus, this is where, he was crucified, and this is where he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, and this is a part of the River Jordan that he got baptized. And they just picked places. They just picked places based on the limited knowledge that they had. And these crosses are crusade-style crosses, which means that they were not done at the time frame that Noah got off the boat. Plus, Noah wouldn't have used the damn cross, nor would his family members thereafter have used the cross, because a cross at that time frame would have been unheard of would not have been the instrument of death that would have been used and would not have identified. These are Christians trying to force the Bible to fit into their narrative. And it is videos like this that makes Christianity even more void than it already is, because you're trying to make science fit into your Bible when your Bible does not fit science, because your Bible is written by men who had limited knowledge about science and the universe. They thought the stars were just points in the sky of light and that they could fall. They didn't understand the difference between a star that is the same as our sun and the distance that they were, and they didn't understand the difference between a meteorite or a comet. They thought that those were falling stars, which is why we call them still to this day falling stars. So you're trusting in the science of people who knew not even first grade level science compared to what we know today to understand our natural universe and to try to make your Bible stories fit. To them, a localized flood that was epic, they thought it flooded the entire world, not understanding the vastness of the entire world. So this is another bogus claim by Christians, and I hope that this helped to continue to open your mind to see that this is a whole bunch of bullshit. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.